If you're a Love Boat fan, you'll definitely remember Isaac Washington, the charming bartender whose grin won over millions of fans yet remained out of the limelight. Let us delve into the incredible journey of Ted Lange, a story of bravery and unfaltering resolve, as he overcame prejudice and the harsh constraints of Hollywood in his youth to become a cultural icon and build his own legacy. Ted, the man responsible for bringing Isaac to life, had to battle against the harsh limitations of his time and the Hollywood industry as a whole. Ted not only paved the way for himself, but also became a potent inspiration for a whole generation of black actors. In Oakland, California, Lange was born on January 5, 1948, to parents who made art their life's work. Theodore W. Lange Jr. and Geraldine Jerry Wilson were both active in the television and theater industries. A member of the Ebony Theater's cast, his father as a young boy, Ted lived with his mother, older brother, and maternal grandparents after his parents' short marriage ended in divorce. His father worked as a newscaster in San Francisco, while his mother became one of the first black women to appear on television. This creatively charged atmosphere in Oakland was between Turner and Laura Wilson. I grew up seeing my parents commit themselves to the theater, which provided Ted with a rich setting that fostered his love of the stage. His experiences at Oakland Technical High School inspired me to want to join that community. Ted was an accomplished leader who served as president of both his class and the student body. However, after finishing high school, he attended San Francisco City College and Merritt Junior College to study theater, where he discovered and developed his acting abilities. There, he became famous for his stellar performances in no time. The Black Student Union's award for Best Lead Actor. This accomplishment not only demonstrated his talent, but it also mirrored his unfaltering resolve to conquer obstacles. A watershed moment in Ted's journey occurred in the summer of 1968, when he was awarded a scholarship to attend the University of Colorado Shakespeare Festival. This chance not only helped him hone his acting chops, but it also launched his professional career, allowing him to transform his passion into a springboard for greater ambitions. With a solid artistic foundation, a hunger for knowledge, and resolute determination, Ted became a reality. The arduous Hollywood world awaited Lange, and he was prepared to enter it, creating an unforgettable persistence. Following graduation with the start of he began his professional acting career with Santa Clara University's off-campus productions, and continued on to Berkeley's, where he developed his talent and found his passion. Ted became well known in the theater world over time. These were his formative years as an actor, during which he learned the ropes, tried new things, and ultimately succeeded despite the industry's persistently low visibility of black actors. But the true turning point in Ted's career came in 1973, when he appeared in the documentary What Stack, a film that captured the life and culture of the black community during that era. His role in What captivated audiences and earned him an invitation to join the show's nationwide tour. His Broadway debut in the musical Hair was more than just a stage for Ted to shine. It became a launching pad that cemented his presence in American theater. Stax became well known and had opportunities in the black exploitation film industry because of him. Rolling out landings in Trick Baby and Black Belt Here at Jones, Ted started to develop his distinctive acting style and demonstrate that he could overcome the obstacles put up by the entertainment industry. One of the most famous stories about Ted is his audition for Trick Baby, where he was first rejected for the part of a pimp because he didn't look the part. However, instead of taking rejection personally, he decided to push through. Ted chose to totally immerse himself in the role. Going to Harlem, he bought a burgundy suit, a hat with gold trim, and high boots. With his new look, he walked into the audition and won over the director and producers. This role displayed Ted's ingenuity and determination, and he also left imprint on the global landscape of black exploitation movies like Black Belt and Trick Baby Jones went above and above by establishing this as Ted Lange's giftedness and skill were evidence of his dogged persistence. The groundwork for his enduring career was created by these daring initial moves. The features he directed initially not only offered him the chance to showcase his acting chops, but also the chance to confront how the entertainment industry views black actors and efforts to effect good change. Picture this. Ted Lange's journey consisted of nothing more than waiting for opportunity after opportunity, only to be rejected time and time again. In the show That's My Mama, where he played the character of Junior, the opportunity to showcase his talent to television viewers presented itself to Ted with Junior, a multifaceted character with humorous undertones. Yet, the journey was far from smooth at first. Despite the producers giving him little screen time, and even cutting him from several scripts, he remained determined and kept going. Ted viewed it as a chance to gain knowledge and polish one exceptional tale. Showcases Ted's doggedness in the beginning of the show, when the producers debated casting Junior elsewhere because of concern that Ted's quirky and slightly until Ted's appearance on the AFI homage to James Cagney, where his charisma and stage presence were on full display. Streetwise persona didn't mesh well with the show's tone. One of the producers made the comment, "We're missing out on something here," which caught the attention of the producers and instantly reinstated Ted to the cast. With each appearance, Ted was able to keep the crowd in stitches, particularly throughout in which Junior might suddenly appear, causing conflict. His appearance at the very end of an episode, where he delivered the astute comment, "You think everything's fine now," is a prime example. I'm sorry to break it to you, but his charisma and comic timing are second to none. No matter how little screen time he had on That's My Mama, viewers were left eagerly awaiting his return. Ted seized every chance that came his way. So that I can learn how the television industry is structured, he studied the scriptwriting process, set management, and performance of the lead actors in great detail. Playing Junior wasn't all I was doing. A sense of agency over my own future was something I was developing. Later, in an interview, Ted reflected transforming Junior from a supporting character into an integral aspect of the show's fabric was Ted's greatest achievement in That's My Mama. Are you reminded of Isaac Washington? The cheerful bartender Ted Lange was the one who stole the show in every Love Ode episode. But a difficult path lay ahead for the man behind Isaac as he sought to acquire, and Isaac rose to prominence from his humble beginnings as a minor character who made brief appearances mid-episode to deliver drinks and provide humorous advice. After coming to the realization that Isaac would always play the role of the bartender if things continued as they were, Ted battled to have him appear in both the opening and closing scenes. Important moments that firmly established a character's significance, even though executives were initially against including a bartender in those situations. When asked if the captain and doctor could exit the medical bay, Ted resisted. This wasn't merely a question, "Why is the bartender unable to greet customers?" The statement was, with the help of his co-stars, Ted was able to prove that his fight against prejudice wasn't in vain. Isaac not only received more screen time, but also developed into a fully formed character with significant storylines thanks to Ted's efforts, similar to Bernie Capel and Fred Grandy. Grandy even wrote a love story for Isaac after realizing that producers were hesitant to do so because Ted was a black actor. Isaac's achievements extended well beyond his fame. Although Ted originally compared his experience to that of a journalist, he was later converted by Ted Lange into a symbol of hope and human connection, serving as a positive image of the black community in entertainment during a time when such positions were still limited. That of Laura Ingraham, the now famous phrase, "Shut up and dribble." As directed at LeBron James, Ted realized that his on-screen persona was more than simply an acting gig. It was an opportunity to change the way Hollywood saw black actors. Would viewers have trusted Isaac Washington as much if Ted hadn't battled for his role as the character? Isn't it true that SU's success was due more to tenacity and a will to shatter barriers than to natural ability? Isaac, and bask in the embrace of his warmth. Leave a comment with your cherished memories of Ted Lange. You play a significant role in his remarkable journey to success. Along with his many acting roles, Ted Lange was a mainstay on The Romantic. He wasn't simply Isaac Washington. In the background, was quietly establishing himself as a film director. Ted got his start writing and directing episodes of The Love Boat, which led to bigger projects like Mwasha, Dharma, and Greg, as well as the touching 2008 film For Love of Amy. These projects showcased Ted's talent and unique storytelling perspective, but his most significant work was written for the stage. His more than 17 plays include notable pieces such as George Washington's Boy and Lady Patriot. These productions do more than just recount historical events. They encourage viewers to delve into lesser-known narratives. For example, the bond between George Washington and his enslaved attendant William Lee, or Mary Bowser's journey as a spy inside Jefferson Davis's White House. Ted doesn't merely recount events. He breathes life into history with imagination and fervor. An unexpected anecdote showcases Ted's resolve. While rehearsing, a young actor repeatedly fumbled over his lines. Instead of scolding him, Ted smiled and said, "It's okay. I used to make the same mistakes when I played Isaac." As a mentor and director, Ted helped his peers connect and encourage one another. During a post-show discussion, a young audience member once asked, "How do you make history feel so alive?" And the cast immediately broke into laughter, relieving the tension. Though he is well known for keeping his private life under wraps, Ted offered this advice. Just picture yourself as the protagonist and tell it with all your emotions. This will make history come alive. Notable events in 1978 characterized Ted Lange's life away from the limelight. With his wife Cheryl Thompson, he has a son and a daughter. However, Theodore William IV and Turner Wallace Lange's marriage ended in 1989, following 11 years of marriage, in 2001. After Ted's first marriage ended, he remarried Mary Lou, who would go on to be his rock and inspiration. Their engagement story was transformed into a beloved tale, infused with his characteristic humor. Asking, "Would you let me be your bartender?" Ted asked Mary to be his wife at a lavish gala. Mary was made to giggle and say yes by a proposal that was both surprising and charming. It brought him joy beyond his family's expectations. A lot of personal losses happened to Ted in 2021 as well. His life was shattered by a devastating loss. Just as his mother Geraldine Lange was dying with COVID-19, in addition to being Ted's mother, Geraldine was a very influential figure in his life. One of his most cherished memories is of the time when Geraldine persuaded him to enter a school speech contest when he was a little boy. Although he was timid at first due to his fear of failing, his mother's advice was constant and unfaltering. That wise saying became his life's compass. If you remain silent, no one will ever know your name. Gerald Dane, an industry trailblazer, was a TV host in San Francisco and the former director of public relations at KBHK-TV. Her tenacity and resolve gave Ted the self-assurance and fortitude he needed to overcome the injustices he encountered in the entertainment industry, where racial bias was still a major obstacle. Due to Ted Lange's problems, above and beyond his private life, he overcame enormous obstacles to succeed as a black actor in the golden age of Hollywood. It was a defining moment for Ted when he stood up to producers and colleagues on set and asked, "If the captain can step off the bridge and the doctor can step out of the medical bay, then why can't the bartender welcome guests?" It wasn't just a question, it was a direct challenge. Ted was often cast in supporting roles or removed from important scenes, like the Love Boat's opening and closing moments. He proved his worth via his bravery and determination. After breaking through those obstacles, Ted experienced a sweet victory when he was ultimately included in the opening sequence of the show. An inspiring and positive role model for black people in Hollywood, Isaac Washington rose from the ranks of supporting characters to become a symbol of hope and human connection. Through it all, Ted Lange's life is a tale of triumph over hardship. Aside from being an inspiration in his dogged quest of change, his path serves as a lesson in tenacity and resolve, motivating people who have the guts to dream big and the will to see their ambitions bloom. In addition to being an exceptional, he was an iconic figure in Hollywood, a visionary who refused to be ignored and whose iconic performance as Isaac Washington on La Boat not only gave joy and warmth to viewers, but also stood as a symbol of the racial equality movement. He advocated for black actors to have more prominent roles and more opportunities, fighting against the idea that they should only play little parts. His impact reaches much beyond the realm of television. George Washington's Boy and Lady Patriot, two of his plays, are more than simply plays. Artworks can function as historical bridges that shed new light on the period of American nation's inception. He breathed new life into tales of the long-forgotten, like those of Black Spy Mary Bowser, who lived through the Civil War, illuminating the sacrifices of individuals who had long since passed. Unidentified Languages expressed his desire for audiences to do more than simply view his plays. He wanted them to experience them emotionally and reflect on history in profound ways. Rather than viewing these accolades as the apex of his career, Ted Lange regarded them as inspiration to keep creating and fighting for change. One particularly memorable story came when a young producer told Lange that after watching one of his plays, he was inspired to write about a strong independent black character, something he had never considered before. This strengthened Ted Lange's impact. Apart from his creative output for generations of black artists to come, Ted Lange's example of overcoming adversity through dogged determination is an inspiration. His relentless drive and devotion to his work revolutionized the entertainment industry and impacted contemporary art's view of diversity and equality. The Los Angeles-based filmmaker and writer Ted Lange is deeply committed to the arts and continues to write and direct historical films. Artist-rich performs his compositions not only bring to life pivotal moments, but also illuminate lesser-known narratives, especially those involving everyday individuals who played a role in molding history. A piece of history that Ted once imparted isn't exclusive to the great heroes. Ted's friendship with his former co-stars from the La Boat has stayed strong over the years. Memorable reunions, like his appearance on The Talk on November 5, 2013, and a 7-day cruise along the Mexican Riviera in October 2022, showcase the special bond they still share. These events not only fill fans with nostalgia, but also give Ted opportunities to engage with fans in February 2021. Ted has always been an outspoken supporter of the arts in his community, and he and his fellow cast members recently participated in Stars in the House to raise money for an actors fund. This exemplifies his lasting commitment to friendship and generosity both on and off stage. His words of encouragement to young artists were profound. "If I could start as a bartender on a TV show, you can dream of becoming anything." Regarding his financial situation, recent estimates indicate that he is highly recognized and has been a constant source of inspiration for generations thanks to his genuine warmth and artistic prowess. About $4 million is the ballpark for Ted Lange's net worth. His achievements in acting, directing, writing, and contributing to the entertainment industry are reflected in this figure. Over the course of his 50-year career in the arts, Ted Lange has done more than just star in television shows. He has also written and directed more than 17 plays with lasting historical significance, and his 250 episodes of La Boat serve as living testimony to the power of passion and perseverance. There is no denying the impact he had, as evidenced by prominent distinctions, like as the Paul Robeson Medal and the NAACP Renaissance Man Theater Award. Inspiring young artists and teaching them a valuable lesson about overcoming obstacles, Ted's journey shows them how to turn their aspirations become reality. Leaving an indelible impression on audiences worldwide, Ted Lange is more than just an artist. What do you think of his inspiring journey? Which part of his story spoke to you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications so you won't miss any more captivating stories in the future.